and it's a poem I actually wrote backwards. It's kind of starts from the end and works back to the beginning. It's yeah, and anyway, I won't tell you what it's about. It's called "And It All Began with a Fork." Read me a story, Mum, you ask at 3 in the morning, and it doesn't matter that it's late, that you'll forgo school, that I can't afford the fares, because you're here at last, because it was such an adventure, because wishes can come true. And when you wake, son, you'll see snowman still hanging on by a carrot, a frozen fist of defiance in the naked courtyard. 20 minutes ago, you stumbled off the train, this February night, pumicing skin, the two of us welded for warmth, the very last leg, this short walk to my flat, your legs not wanting to walk anywhere, never mind up. Only 5 minutes before that, my repeated attempts to rouse you as we approach Winchester Station, an urgency akin to evading that traffic warden closing in rapidly, your engine cutting out constantly. And 5 minutes before that, fatigue finally subdues your will to stay the course, and champagned on happiness, you swerve into sleep, your head slumped in my lap. An hour and a half earlier, an impulse to snug up in first class, inspectors being absent with leave. Your grin as broad as Cheshire, our train pulling away finally, and London folding behind us. Checkered flag time. 10 minutes before that, we arrive at Waterloo, eerily empty and cold after that tunnelled warmth. The departure board blacked out, save for one entry, ours, the 0105 for Southampton. 50 minutes earlier, your snooker case emerges from the front carriage, swiftly followed by your smile. Then we're running to the underground. No time even for that hug. Bags bouncing on bums, we're bursting through ticket barriers, dashing along corridors, but slowing for stairs, for escalators. A time to draw breath, knowing the finish line's ahead. The Victoria line awaits, and arms can wait no longer. We melt into that hug. Trundle through tunnels towards Oxford Circus. Before that, I'm pacing below the arrivals board, panicking you might be on time instead of 2 minutes early, trying to be grateful you aren't late. These minutes slowing like slugs till train arrived, guns me to your platform, to run alongside its arriving, wave to a familiar face. On my way, I text you to be right at the front of the train. Yes, right through first class to save vital minutes. The £10 left won't stretch to a taxi. I checked. 2 hours before that, my journey begins. Yes, a return for tonight. Our story expounded, excitement spurting like orange juice, a case of Carpe Noctem. An hour and a half earlier, you're called to say you've missed the train. My tyre punctured. Pit stop time later, you call back, only joking, see you in 3. But you're so very convincing, do you know. Earlier, you're waving bye to Dad, bemused by our antics, his dinner long since abandoned. Half an hour before that, Dad's taxi to Newcastle Station, an emergency service minus sirens, surrendering to red, crossing fingers for green. 20 minutes before that, we're on, but the last train leaves at 8:38. Tell Dad, you haven't got long. No, you won't have time to finish your dinner. See you soon, I love you, and just pack essentials. So toothbrush, comb, boxers, your glasses get overlooked in favour of DVDs, your PSP, its games, your prized queue. 10 minutes before that, frantic calls to rail inquiries and London transport, holding my breath. Can't give you pith after promising juice. But the last train to London can meet the last Victoria line, which will connect with the last Bakerloo in time for the final departure from Waterloo at 1 in the morning. So we can move to the starting grid, but a timing so tight, there's no leeway for lateness. Stranded in London at midnight, a possibility I can't entertain. Must stay positive, be grateful, trust in the universe. I phone you back. A mere 7.5 hours and 350 miles ago, you're eating supper with your dad and sister. Son, it's late, you know. Yeah, but it's only 6 hours, Mum. Yeah, but trains don't run all night, darling. Be great though, wouldn't it? I'll check it out. Phone you back. And it all began with a fork in one hand, your mobile in the other, wishing you could shrink the miles between us. I'd really like to come and see you, Mum, you'd pleaded. Like now?